Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 7 of my cancer journey. Um, if you've been, uh, if you're coming in on this one, it's a little weird. Probably best day 1 is background, and then day 2 through now is basically just progress day by day, um, and stuff I learned along the way, and hopefully um, sharing it will help somebody else at some point. So uh, this will make sense it makes sense in sequence is the short version of that. So really nice sweat bath this morning. Couple hours of that. I'm pretty sure I'm talking sustained temperatures of 102, 104, and I get to where you get after 20 minutes in a sauna in a little less time just being around. So that is probably they're describing that as one of the most typical symptoms of leukemia. It's definitely one of the most noticeable symptoms of it. Sometimes it comes with secondary headaches. Lately, it hasn't been so much, which is a blessing. But the fevers are significant and are also dehydrating, so that they create a problem. My wife, who I will run out of good things to say about, I loved her before, thought the world of her before, and she has taken her game to a level that I can't even conceive of. Um, she stayed overnight because she wanted to see what happened after the first day of chemotherapy, because you say chemotherapy and people go, oh my God, and they have nightmares about it. And I was one of those people. However, everything they do here is fucking amazing. I'm still holding off on giving specific names, and I don't know why. I don't want to get anybody in trouble or anything. But I will probably be changing my mind about that at some point. If it shows up in a link, it's probably going to show up somewhere. I would love to give people and places credit, and I don't know why I'm not. I know I can always do it later if I don't do it now, but if I do it now, I can't change it if there's a reason to change it. So, long story short on that, um, my wife got to see my world. She got to see how things work, 24 hours in a hospital and how busy it is and how there's constant blood draws and constant vital changes and dietary coming in and everything coming out. There isn't, I think there's barely 2 hours of peace, and you don't know when they are. So it's a bit of a head trip. Uh, if you uh, if you are a structured routine person, that is going to be one of the things that you are going to be letting go as part of this process, or it's going to be something you're going to be fighting all of this process. Now, that being said, I think finding a flexible routine, a routine where you can call your shots and punch your time when you've got it, even if it's hour by hour or less, that you can make it happen. Things like when are you going to sleep during the day? When are you going to eat? When are you going to put in time catching up with the outside world? Those lovely people that are calling and texting and checking in on Facebook and reaching out to you in every conceivable way. They want to know, and you want to tell them. It can be draining if you have a big family, if you have a big support system. Are you reaching out to like 50, 60 people? Is there some other way of shortening it up? Maybe having a point person for each group and then they handle it from there. Whatever makes that helpful. If you wanted to start an online group of some sort, which is just the people your circle, do that. I think there's some way that you can do it through the hospital where you can do updates and it goes, I don't know how that works. So I'm not very tech savvy, full confession, if that isn't obvious already. But there are mechanisms to make it easier. I'm kind of old school, so I'm kind of catching up with everybody as I go. Or maybe you just feel more comfortable talking to people and hearing their voice. And that that obviously, to me, that's like the most respectful manner. It's just not scalable to 60 and plus plus plus. So there's that. Um, the other piece about this is because COVID came along as part of my package, and of course I have zero immune system. The visitors is a problem, so people can't come see you. It's easy to say, look, I have no immune system. Anybody who comes in here is a threat to me, no matter if they're in perfect health and they're not carrying anything. I got nothing. I have no defenses. I think people are okay with that because they're keeping you safe by not being there. And of course, you'd love for them to be there, love to see you, all that kind of stuff. It's validating that they see you, hey, look, I'm alive. I'm obviously alive. So there's that. Um, my biggest barrier seems to be my hemoglobin. I just can't keep it. My white blood cells are coming back. Platelets are back. The hemoglobin, I'm still getting transfused for that, and that's a little frustrating, but that's what needs to be. Chemo, chemo does, it has a cost. There's civilian damage in addition to the all of the military targets being reacquired. So that's what's going on with that. The good news, vastly, that you heard the worst news already. The good news is a lot of the other defenses are coming back. I ate 3 meals and a slice of pizza, which is the highest food intake I've had in 6 weeks. So that part was really great. We threw a pizza party for the staff here, because they've been such sweethearts. I felt like having a slice of pizza, but I also knew a slice of pizza was my limit. My wife doesn't really eat pizza, but she got a very nice salad. So we bought pizza for all the staff because they are above and they're beyond, and there's no question about that. They actually deserve much better than that, but you do what you can, kind of thing. The last big thing I have here before I go home, right, is I have to, the second part of my chemo is called a lumbar puncture. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Puncture the spine, take some fluid out, get some inventory about what's going on in my central nervous system, my brain, and my spine. And then they do treatment directly into that, because a lot of times the stuff is sitting in here and nobody notices it, because it's kind of isolated, it seems, from the rest of the body. You don't get what you get from the rest of the body by that. So they have to do that. That's a little scary, but they've already spent time burrowing into my hip and doing other stuff. So whatever else, they've taken good care of me with all that stuff. It's scary. I'm not gonna lie. It sounds unpleasant as hell. So that's it. One day is going to be that. Another day is just going to be what we've been doing, which is straight chemo. And the side effects from the chemo have been negligible, but I've also heard they can be delayed. So I could be home and this thing will knock me on my ass, but knock me on my ass at home. Today, I think I really started to embrace that I just started to embrace this, man, that I'm fighting leukemia and I'm fighting cancer. And I said, God damn it, I need a t-shirt. I need a, bracelet. I need a hat, man. I need swag. I didn't ask to be a member of this club, but I'm a member of this club now. So guess what? God damn it. I'm in. So they want to call me a cancer warrior. Let's fucking do it, man. Let's be that. Let's dress it. Let's act it. Let's do it. And most importantly, let's make it okay so that the next person in the door has seen somebody who's doing this and they're walking around and they're okay. I can't, you can talk hope, but when you see hope, that's much more powerful. And I would really like to be that. So I I probably did a bunch of stupid impulse purchases, and they're all coming in, and that's how it's going to be. Uh, so the two main things I wanted to talk about, well, the one I already did, and that is the idea of having what I call a flexible routine. So you have the things in your head that you want to do, and you're just waiting for those opportunities. So, oh, wait a minute, I got a break. Let's check in real quick. How sleepy am I? Because that's usually the first one. How sleepy am I? All right, let's snatch an hour. Let's just get it. If we can get it, let's get it, because that's going to set us up good for the rest of the day. And then all the other things, the outside world contact and all that. That was point number one. Point number two, two enemies on this path. Fake pessimism and fake optimism. Fake pessimism. You hear what happens with somebody else and you say, oh man, what if that happens to me? You hear it's something that's possible and you immediately start to take it in. Instead of put everything on the 50-50, it might not, and walk the line in between. The Dalai Lama calls it the narrow path. Extreme over here, extreme over here. Let's just walk down the middle. If either one of them becomes the thing, then they become the thing. But we don't graduate them in our head until they graduate in the real world. I am susceptible to both of these. When I get bad news, I automatically assume that it's the case. But I also, when I get good news, I automatically assume that that's going to keep rolling, and I start to build a house on that. Oh, your platelets are back within normal limits for a person without this illness. Great. I'm done worrying about that. That's it. Now, that's not the first thing in front of me because it's not a problem right now. But the assumption that it's not going to be a problem I'm calling it fake optimism. Again, here are the two sides, right down the middle. That's how I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to do the very Buddhist thing of just this being in the present, being in the middle, just being where it is. That way you've got always something to move to, and you're not committed to any of these things. Those were really the two big takeaway points. If I was going to add a third one, it's this is the third one. This is the big one. If you are an independent person, or if you are a caregiver, you may find it extremely difficult to be in the position of helplessness and having to accept care for things that you do yourself without even thinking about it. Case in point, my own hygiene, just the idea of cleaning myself up. Your normal morning routine, getting ready to go to work or do whatever you do it in 30 minutes and you don't think about it. And if I put a blindfold on you, you could do it. You might come up with some interesting color combinations wardrobe wise, but you would do it. You'd be standing there clean, ready to rock right in front of me, 30 minutes. That is now a fantasy, a total fantasy. You might be able to go 10 minutes on your feet. You might not even be able to go 10 minutes on your feet. So you're sitting there in the nasty shit you slept in while sick, the stuff you broke 104-degree fevers in, the stuff you may have pissed and farted on yourself and all that stuff, and you may be in all that. Brushing your freaking teeth. You may have noticed I got the rocking the new do here and managed to lose a little of the Santa Claus effect here. Now, again, my gift from God, my wife, she comes here. She kind of did this before as a work thing, which doesn't mean I want her doing it now with her husband alone. If you're not lucky, you get the staff to help you with it, but they will help you with it. There are people who specifically do that. With me, having my wife do it is harder to ask for, but she reminded me of our wedding vows today. So I think I know where this is. And I'm trying to protect her, right? I'm trying to protect her from having a 235-pound baby, right? So she's here, first order of business, beard, brush teeth, change the garments, the stem to stern scrub down. Can't take a shower when you're hooked up to everything under the sun, so you're kind of doing the standing, um, kind of like a standing sponge bath kind of thing with the wipes. If you're a really independent person, you struggle that you need somebody to do this, or that you're just standing in a room being watched doing this instead of the creature comforts of your own house. If you are a caregiver, even if you do this with other people, sometimes it's hard to turn that over. That is among the many things that were in this, that were in your backpack that you didn't know you even had when you came in here, and that it was chock full of shit. And now, one by one, those things are being taken away. Your modesty, a certain amount of your independence, um, your view of a lot of things, what you thought you knew about things, everything from the illness to the treatment, to the side effects, all that stuff. So that is it's the learning process that you never wanted from becoming a member of the club that you never wanted to join. Uh, However, it is also all in the service of me/you getting back to life, getting back to home, and those amazing things called sleeping in your own bed, being around your own kids, being around your own animals, doing whatever the hell it is that you normally do, particularly what you do to enjoy yourself and feed your soul, because your soul is what's sustaining you at this point in time. I know that doesn't sound very scientific. This will have a funny way of affecting your view of science. I'm not saying that there's the no atheists in the trenches thing. I'm just saying there's a fundamental shift in perspective and a clarity of focus about your life and what's important and what keeps you well. And like I mentioned before, have that list of stuff that sustains you, because you're needing every bit of it. It's all your ammunition, man. And speaking of ammunition, it feels good in a way. It feels good to have the chemo because I get to feel like I'm hitting back. I feel like I've been hit for, I'm going to say I'm getting hit for about 6, 7 weeks. And now I feel like I'm hitting back and I do feel better. Day 2 of chemo, I feel better. And there's no dollar sign on that one. And if day 3 I feel better, and if that continues, and again, not wedded to that, the good news is that now we're Sunday going into Monday. The word is I could be home Thursday. Not banking on it, but it's a great goal. And you know what? If it's Friday, if it's whatever, it's not a loss, because doing this right is going to beat the hell out of trying to do it quick. And they are the ones that are going to tell me how this is going to work. So I apologize if I ramble. This was a long one, but it was very eventful. Um, if you're watching this and you're going through this, man, my heart goes out to you. My heart absolutely goes out to you. My contact information will be on this, and you are free to reach out to me. I don't care how old this video is. If I'm still drawing breath, I'm at your service, because this is hard. And the number one thing that makes it easier is support. The professionals, and your people, your corner. So, and I'm in your corner. I don't know who you are. I'm in your corner because you and I may have a commonality that, again, we didn't ask for, we didn't want, and we got it. So now we're going to embrace it. All right. I'm going to get some sleep because I got some blood work coming and my chemo starts again at 6 in the morning. So shut eye time, and then we'll get on to round 3. Talk to you tomorrow.